Alright, so now that we have started and created some Excel files, like I created sample and sample 2. So let's open one of them and see how Excel looks like, and let's understand the Excel environment. So I double click the sample file and this is how it opens. Alright, so this is how Excel would look like. You have the Excel sheet. Each one of these boxes is called a cell, and then you have columns on the vertically. So these are columns: column E, column F, G, and so on. And then you have rows: row number 1 2 3 4 and so on. So intersection of a row and column is a cell. So if I'm on this cell, this is nothing but an intersection of column H and row number 8. So H and 8, that is what you see here in the name box. Okay, so this is called a name box. You can expand it. All right, and this is called a formula bar, wherein you can write a formula or you can write a value. Like I would write upskill technologies, so you can see it here in the cell as well as in the formula. All right, and then if you look at the top, if you come from the very top on the left side, you have the quick access toolbar. So quick access toolbar is nothing but a toolbar wherein you have some options where you can quickly access it. Then below that is something called ribbon. This entire thing is called ribbon, and then you have tabs in it. So you have the file tab, you go back, you have the home tab, the insert tab, and page layout. See how things change when I click on the tab. So every tab has a set of options. So like for example, if I go to home tab, then you have lots of options in the home tab, and all of these commands options, whichever way you want to call them, these are divided into a group. So if you see from the left, you have clipboard group, which has some commands related to the clipboard, that is copy, paste, format as painter, and stuff like that. Then you have the font command group, wherein you have things related to the font, and then alignment command group, number command group, and so on. So you take any tab, you will have the same things. You will have a command group and the commands related to that: connection, sort and filter, and so on. Now this ribbon is very useful, but sometimes when you're working with Excel, it happens to occupy a bit of the view. I would say like 10 to 15% or 20%. So sometimes it's good that you minimize it. And how do you minimize it? You have options here. You can click on this button, and you also have the shortcut here, Control F1. So if you hold Control key and the function key, this ribbon will collapse. You want to back, hit Control F1. So this is a cool, nice way to get more space while working on Excel data. You can use the same thing with this icon here. So you have options auto hide ribbon. I click on it, everything is hidden. Now you don't even see the commands, the tabs on the top. If you want them back, you click on this again and say show tabs. So it will just show tabs but not the commands within it. If you want to see the commands, you can click on the tab and they will just pop up. And when you move out your cursor away, they will go away. Or else you can make sure that every time you want the ribbon to be visible, so you go to this option and make sure that you hit show tabs and commands. So this will show the ribbon tabs and commands all the time. In the beginning, I would suggest we do not disable the ribbon. let that be visible so that you know where each command is. Once you get familiar with shortcuts and all, it would be very easy for you and you will not rely much on the ribbon. All right, then you have the minimize option, the maximize option, and the cross if you want to close a file. And then you have the sheet itself. And then you see here there is only one sheet, which is sheet 1. By default, when you create a new file, new Excel file, you will have only one sheet. Earlier versions used to have 3 sheets, but now you have only one. If you want to add more sheets to this file, you just click on this plus icon. It will give you a new sheet. And if you see, it's sheet 2. So let me rename this. To rename, you can either right click and say rename, or you can double click and rename it the way you want. So I'll rename it to upskill 1. I want to rename this to upskill 2. Great. Now if I want upskill 1 to be at the beginning, I can change the order by simply drag and drop. So I will drag upskill 2 and I will drag it here and drag it here and drop it here. That didn't work. Okay, I'll do the other way. I'll drag upskill 1 and that's how you change the position. All right, and then you have icons here where you can, if you have too many sheets, then you can use this arrow marks to navigate between the sheets. All right, and if you want to see all the sheets as a list, then you can right click here and you will see all the sheet names. This is a very cool feature if you have too many sheets, and if you want to see them at once and go by the sheet name, the initials of the sheet name, like the sheet name starting with S or A or B, you can just activate this list and hit the alphabet, the first alphabet of the sheet name, and you can scroll through all the sheets which starts with that alphabet. All right, and then you've got the horizontal scroll bar, which allows you to go to right, left, and so on. And then you've got the vertical scroll bar to move up or down. And then at the bottom of the screen, you have something called recording macros, where by clicking which you can record macros. You have some layout options at the bottom right. This is a normal view that we are looking at. If you want to change to page layout or page break preview, these are the options. And this is how you can zoom in or zoom out. So I'm right now at 50%. And if I want to increase the size, I would increase it something like this. Yeah, so that's how you do it. So this is the basics of Excel environment. I hope you are now familiar with everything that is in Excel. Thank you.